All right, seems we're live now. This is my first mentor session, so I'm excited. Hi everyone, my name is Cesar Quintero. I'm with the Profit Recipe. Excited to be part of the AO community. So let's start with the questions here. We start with Robin Turpin. Her question is, from a timeline perspective, what time frame should I be looking at to hit 6 figures in my business? So context is she's an up-and-coming artist, painting, and she's working on building a portfolio, learning to sell, as well as being her own personal development. I come from a very limited mindset, and I'm growing every day thanks to AO. How do I know if I am on the right path? I am happy, and I know it is going slow, but how do I know if things are on the right path? How do you determine that for you? All right. So, Robin, you're going to hate my answer, but it depends. I can't give you a definite timeline. I've had 5 businesses. On my first business, it took me about 6 years to get to 6 figures. On my second one, it was like 2 years. On my third and fourth, within the first year, we were already over $1 million. So, I think as part of my concept as well, the Profit Recipe is experience helps you with things. I think as entrepreneurs, we need to learn a lot of things. We need to test our market. We need to learn how to be better leaders. We need to learn how to manage finances. We need to learn how to manage a lot of parts of the business. And as you're a painter, you're an artist. So I like to say there's 3 types of entrepreneurs. There's an artist, a salesperson, and a leader. An artist typically loves the craft. So you love to spend most of your time doing the craft and getting, there are artists that love creating products or creating things. And, so typically artists are the ones that scale the slowest. That's the typical thing I see out there. Leaders are people who build teams, build people around them, and they scale faster. And then the salespeople also, they typically are the sole salesperson, and they're growing, and that's their sole focus. But usually the business also grows in the back. So I think depending on the type of entrepreneur you are, in your case, I think you're more of an artist. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing by what you do is you love the craft. So having enjoyment of it, understanding why you want to scale. I think that would be my second question. What is the reason I want to scale over 6 figures? And determine whether it's, to get to the next level, to build a team, to build a legacy. Why are you wanting to scale to 6 figures? And then putting all your efforts behind it. The third thing I'm going to share with you in this is we need to make sure that you have the right people around you. I love the book Who Not How. For me, I started in the food industry. My first business was in food related. We cooked and delivered meals to people in their office. This is way before Uber Eats, way before all of this. It's 2004. So I had to go door to door and convince people that their healthy meals could be delivered every day and the whole thing. So I was very new to the market. And I had no idea about the kitchen. I had no idea about delivery. I had no idea about anything. So I assumed that anybody I would hire, they could also learn at the same pace I did. That was the biggest mistake that slowed my growth down, because what I realized is that once I got people who knew how to do the things I didn't know how, I scaled much faster. That's why my last 2 businesses, I've been over $1 million in the first 6 months. It's because I already have a team. I've already understood what I need. I understand the business. I understand the concept. I understand the market fit, and I can scale much faster because I have the people around me to scale for me. So I hope that helps, Robin. So at the end of the day, it depends. It depends on what you want. It depends on who you have around you, and it depends on what type of entrepreneur you want to be. All right, let's go to the next question. I got Brad Letchworth. Question is, how do you know when the time is right to leave your full-time job and go all in on your business? For context, he's currently at a full-time firefighter and paramedic for a local municipality and have 13 years of service invested with 12 more of retirement. The climate had changed drastically, and although I never dreamed I would even consider leaving the fire service, I find myself struggling to find a reason to stay. My business has been growing slowly over the last several years, but it's still not at the point where I feel comfortable leaving the guaranteed income of my fire job. However, I am totally burned out and ready to leave. It's the fear that's holding me back and the lure of the guaranteed income and benefits that keeps me there. So how do you know when it's the right time, or when should I make the leap? Brad, my philosophy is I bet on myself. I've bet on myself since I was a kid. I bet on myself when I was a young adult. I feel that I'm thinking there's two different things I can share here. The first thing is I've realized that, and I'm one of those that always has 1, 2 businesses, 3 businesses at the same time, because I like the variety, I like the mess, I like the building mode. I know that once things get to a certain point, I get bored and I lose interest. And then the business is damaged by my lack of interest. So I wonder if by you being at your job is impeding you to grow the company that you have with the fuel it should need in order to pump up those sales, pump up whatever energy you need, because right now your job is extracting energy from you. It's an energy vampire. So how do you manage energy as a person while having the job as paramedic and fire, and then also having your business? Once I let go of the business that didn't serve me anymore, I was able to thrive, flow, and the business just grew really fast as a benefit for it. So my question to you is, number one, what is your ideal life? What does it look like? If you hate your job, if you hate where you're at, if you're investing your time and your energy and your money into somebody else's pocket, this is a perfect opportunity for you to test something out. And how reversible can this be? Do you have savings enough to try it out for 6 months, give it your all, grow that business, and invest in yourself? And then if it doesn't work, just come back and it's fine. And I think every decision is reversible except tax and death, right? So those are the two things you can't reverse. I would give it my all. I like to call burning down the bridges, burning down the boats, and giving it my all. If I don't give my all effort to something, it's not going to fuel it, it's not going to grow, it's not going to get to that point. So I hope that helps. In regards to risk, I've talked a lot of friends into going into taking the leap, and they say they regret taking so long to make the leap. They regret it, and they would have done it sooner if they knew they could have done it. If you believe in yourself and you believe in your business and you believe in your concept and you have market fit, the business needs you. It's your child. You need to give all the time and attention and energy to fuel it and make it grow. All right, let's go to the next one. Kelly Killingsworth. What things would you recommend I do to help me better manage my time? So the context is Kelco is an excavation company specializing in trenching, site prep, road work, aggregate hauling, and heavy equipment operations to include forestry, land clearing, and most earthwork operations. I'm looking for the most effective way to manage my daily tasks, business, family time, personal growth time, me time. I have a daily, monthly planner, but I'm thinking there has to be a more effective way to manage my time. I feel like I should be more productive. All right, so I'm hearing here it's managing your time more for productivity than for balance. It's good. I don't like balance. I love the book by my friend Luli Balapoji. She wrote Balance is Bullshit, and I truly believe that. So there's two contexts to this question. The first one is I want to make sure that you manage your energy and your productivity where it's most efficient and needed at each time. Zuckerberg said there's 5 different things in life: sleep, work, family, exercise, and friends and community. Choose 3. You can't do all 5 at the same time. I say the same with business. In business, you need to focus on what truly needs you the most at each point. And you understand that there is a sacrifice and that you're sacrificing other parts of those 5 things in order to achieve a certain thing. But you always know that it's for a limited time. So it always helped me, like knowing I need to dedicate full time to my business and my exercise and my mental mind. Then I tell my wife, hey, community, friends, wife, family, I'm going to be out for a minute. I need to focus on this right now for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm going to put all my time and attention to this. So I love that approach because it improves flow, it improves concentration, improves focus, where we're focused on the things that matter the most, and then we sacrifice those things that don't. So I'm not a big proponent of balance. I'm a proponent of focus and determination, understanding that we need to do this for all our aspects in life at different times. So I'm a big proponent of that. You're asking more for productivity. So for productivity's sake, I like calendar blocking. One of the worst things that we can have is that multitasking, where I'm looking at emails and then I'm having meetings and then I'm working the work and then I'm leading different things and getting a proposal out, right? So there's a lot of things that need a lot of concentration and time. So I've compartmentalized my day and calendar in a way where I know Mondays and Fridays I have no meetings. There's no meetings Mondays and Fridays are the days I work. Meetings are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. I check emails only at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, so that way I get to. I'm sorry, it's not the beginning. I do it at noon and at 5. Those are my times for emails. I don't know why I said beginning of the day. I don't do emails at the beginning of the day because that will swamp my day with urgent stuff. So I prefer to do emails at noon and at 5 p.m. So that I get everything I need to get accomplished in that morning, and then get to emails after I do the most important things I need to do. So focus. I think it's a theme around both concepts I'm trying to share, is the more you can focus your time on one single thing, the better and the more it'll advance, versus focusing on many things at the same time. So calendar blocking is huge for me. I know that at Fridays in the morning I'm doing thinking time. Mondays and Fridays it's me time, it's work time, it's thinking, it's production. Tuesdays are my team meeting time. So I have 2 different businesses right now, so I have different teams that I meet through on Tuesdays. And then, each day I compartmentalize it within my calendar. And my assistant also, I block the days that there can't be any days I can talk to people or work with people or, do emails. So I'm always time blocking my time. I hope that helps. That's been the most efficient way. Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week is a Bible to me. I loved it. It made me more efficient. There's also a book called Eat That Frog. That's a great book on productivity and time management, so I recommend that as well. All right, so I hope that helps. Let's go with Roseli Akloke. What are the best way to discuss work performance concerns with team members in a way that will help them improve rather than feel frustrated? I have an accounting firm. When a team member gets stuck with a client's work, I jump on a call with them and resolve the issue almost immediately. I have seen them get frustrated and embarrassed with themselves. How can I better these conversations so I leave feeling great and positive? All right, so this gives a lot of context. Your question is a little detached to the context, so I'm going to answer both things. When you jump into a call, I used to do this all the time, right? When a customer service person was on the phone with a customer, and I'm like, did you pit the sell them about this? What's going on, right? And I'm on the back ear of them. It creates stress. It's like, what are you doing? That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So as leaders, we should be empowering our team members to make decisions. That's the way we scale. If we're not empowering them to make decisions and to make mistakes and to do the things the way they need to do them, then they'll depend on us. And what we're doing is we're creating them and enabling them to come to us for every single issue, and that way we can't scale. So we need to make sure that we can, number one, in order to have these conversations, we need to trust our team. So there's 3 things that we look in each team member. Number one, do they have the behaviors? Are they the right person for your team? Do they have the right behaviors? Do they act and do things the way we like to do things within our company? Number 2 is their role. Do they have the skill set, the knowledge, and can they do the job well? That's their role and their seat. And then thirdly, are they producing the results they need to produce? Right? So when we're talking about a person, number one, as a leader, I need to trust them. But then when I'm having the conversation with them, it's very different to say you suck than to say, hey, you're great at your behaviors, you're great at your skills, but you're not giving us the results we need. Or, You're great at your behaviors, you're great at results, but these two things of your profile, you need to up-level these skill sets in order to do these better, right? Or you're having results, you're having skill sets, but you're not behaving the way we need you to behave with your colleagues and your friends and the clients. I need you to improve these behaviors. So when you don't make it about the person and you make it about the action, it makes it much easier and less defensive. They get less defensive because it's not about them. It's more about things that they are doing, right? It's the way they're behaving, it's the way skills and things that they need to do to be better, and the results they're producing. So when we detach the action from the person, they don't feel shame. It's more about, oh, it's accountability, right? This is what your role is, and you're not doing these things. This is what the results we expect you to do, and you're not achieving these results. Or these are the behaviors we expect you to have, and you're not behaving this way. Then it's not about them, it's how they're showing up and what they're doing. Right? So it's very easy. It's like when a kid's bad, you don't say you're a bad kid. It's you just did something wrong. How do we make sure that this doesn't happen again? And you start doing it better. That's it. So that's what I got for you. So always you need to be able to trust your people. And to trust your people, you need to have those three facets of right person, behaviors, right seat, roles and responsibilities and skills, and doing the right things with results. All right. I hope that helped. I got another question from you, Roselli. I have, how do I make a first meeting with a new contact productive? So I have an accounting firm located in South Florida. For the past year, I have been working on adding people from my prospect list on LinkedIn. Occasionally, I invite them to a coffee with me, but they don't make it so long. It will be an inconvenience to them. I'm a little lost on how that meeting should work. Oh, this is prospecting, okay. And how long it should last, and what is the objective? Obviously, I want new clients or spheres of interest. Help. Roselli, you're in the professional business world, so you're an accountant. You need trust. You're not selling a product. You're not selling a widget. This is not something that's easy to sell on LinkedIn or online. You need people who trust you. I'm in the professional services business now. I'm a coach. I have a coaching firm. I also have online products. So in my case, I can't go online and target people who are my target market and just do a personal brand and target them and ask them to meet me. There's no connection. We're selling an intangible. You're selling trust. If I'm going to trust you with my numbers, I need to trust you. So as an accountant, as a professional service, what I would recommend most is find spheres of influence. People who are your clients, they can trust and refer other people. You can also have colleagues that are attorneys, that are bankers, that are people you work with, that also have the same type of clients you have. You can go and talk to them on how are you different as an accounting firm? What do you do differently, and why should people choose you? And then they can start referring people to you. If a banker tells me to go with this accountant, I don't think about it twice. I go directly to that accountant. If my CPA tells me to go to this bookkeeping firm, I go to this bookkeeping firm. I don't shop around. I do what people trust me to do. So LinkedIn might not be working because it's an online thing. I get messages all the time of people inviting me for lunch and inviting me for coffee. The least thing I have and the most precious time I have is, the most precious asset I have is time. Time is tough to get from people if they don't trust you, if they don't believe in you, if they don't know why they need to be meeting with you. So people who trust you, those are the people you need to go and leverage. This is networking marketing. So I think as professional services, I would highly recommend you look into that and try to join different groups where you create trust and you get to see people on a constant basis and people can start referring to you better. But past clients, different connectors that are in your same spheres would help. I hope that helps. Oh, but the main question is, how do I make the first meeting with a new contact more productive? Is understanding their pain. You need to understand their pain. What are you going through? What's happening? You're selling an intangible. Remember, you're selling trust. So you need to connect with that person. It's not small talk. It's not the weather talk. It's what's making you not sleep at night. What's preventing you from getting to the next level? What are your biggest fears with your numbers? And how can I help, right? So we want to talk about deep emotional stuff so that we can understand the pain, and then we have the perfect solution for them to attack that pain and solve that pain. All right, let's go with Liana Kolinsky. So her question is, how do I find money to pay for things as a new business owner when cash flow is super tight and we just don't have money for certain things like websites, marketing, etc.? I've been trying to set up the website myself, but it's been very difficult. I've checked YouTube, how-to videos, tutorials, but it's far too confusing for me. I have looked into Fiverr, but I'm hesitant. I know I need a better e-commerce website and some other things for the business in order to grow sales, but I feel stuck knowing how to get it done and pay for it. What did you do to find money to pay for things in the beginning? Oof, I wish I knew what type of business you're in, Liana, because the answer could be different for different things. So let me get back to when I started my business. Cash was really tight. I spent double of what I needed in my remodeling for the kitchen. I spent double what I needed in the website. I spent double of everything. I had no money to get started. And sales. Focus on sales. Sales, 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 sell. At the beginning of each company, in the first 6 figures, our focus should be on scaling, on proving the concept, proving the model, and sell, 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 sell. Now, again, I don't know, like the accounting firm before, professional services, do you need a website to sell? Probably not. You need context of influence. You need people. Now, if you're a widget and you're selling online, you might need a Shopify website to sell. That's a core process in your business. So to answer that question, when we're strapped for cash, don't try to do everything. Don't try to do everything. Just because other businesses have it doesn't mean you need to have it, right? I didn't have a website when in 2 of my businesses for a long time. I didn't need a website. We didn't need it. Our sales methods was different. It was through distributors. It was through software. It was through personal relationships. So it depends on what you need the website for, what you need the sales funnels for, what you need automation for. So understand what the core part of your business is and only spend money on those things that are core to your business. For everything else, there's people out there that you can figure it out. Don't spend your time in things that you don't know. I know in your context you said, I'm learning how to build a website. It's going to take you so much longer to build a website than to hire somebody to do it now. So read the book, Who Not How. It's really important you understand this, because the longer you take on things that you're not good at, the longer it'll take your business to scale. You want to spend your time and energy in what you're great at and what you're good at as the owner, right? And for everything else, try to find people that can help out, that can leverage, that can barter. I love bartering, right? I need a sales coach, so I'm bartering with a sales coach. I'm giving them different type of coaching. They're giving us sales coach. I need marketing. I barter with a marketing firm where I give my services. They give me their services, right? Bartering, I love bartering. It's a great way when you're strapped for cash. I would not encourage, I'm a bootstrapper. All of my businesses have been bootstrapped. I don't understand the raising money type and all that stuff. I don't get it. If you're in San Francisco, California, that's kind of the way people do this. You have an idea and people give you money for that. I don't buy into that and I don't understand that game. In my game is I use my money wisely. I want to be a profitable company. I want to scale as fast as I can. And I use money in my core processes and my core systems. If it's not a pain, I don't use money on it. If it's a pain and something else, I find somebody to help me solve it and I figure out a way that we can do that. So I love bartering if that works out. All right. Hope that helps. Okay. Let's go with Eric Blandino. Is it an HR problem to tell team members to eat breakfast, lunch, and take care of their personal vehicles? Whew. Okay. The background. We are in the business of giving people their home back for the invasion of rats. Over the years, I've noticed our team members usually don't eat breakfast or lunch, and their personal vehicles don't get maintained. This has caused a lack of energy and forgetfulness throughout the day and missed days from not able to drive to work. They get paid over scale for our industry. We operate in California. Okay, Eric, this is a legal question. I wouldn't say, I can't say if if it's an HR problem or not, or a legal problem. If it's in California, it's probably a legal problem because everything's a problem, legal problem in California. But I would say there's different ways of reprimanding and encouraging people. I think understanding and having education around why having healthy habits is a good thing could be a way to promote healthy habits within your team. You can always mention it as passing. Now, I don't know how factual it is on your context that you're saying that because they don't eat breakfast or lunch, they're having lack of energy or forgetfulness. Is that a fact? Are you sure of that? Or is there other factors that are contributing to that? I wonder. If I were you, I would just have those open and honest conversations with people. I would try to find somebody who's an HR specialist in California to answer this question more than an entrepreneur in Florida. But I would just simply, I can always have conversations around understanding why do you feel that you don't have energy, and why do you feel that you can't come to work, and why do you feel forgetfulness. So I would go to the root of the problem. I think you're jumping to assumptions that it's a breakfast and lunch. I would actually ask them and have those conversations and just expand. If they're talking about, oh shit, it's my lack of breakfast or it's my lack of things, then you can pinpoint it and help them in having those things. But maybe, having a morning and having bananas for everyone before on our morning huddle before everybody goes out might be a good way to incentivize them to have that banana and have those things and talk about the benefits of health. So promoting, not reprimanding, and also understanding the core issue should be a good step there. I hope that helps, Eric. All right, let's go with Chris and Lander. What are some of the ways an entrepreneur who is in a stage that requires working 60 to 70 hours per week can also plan some downtime for thinking of fresh ideas? Ooh, I love this question. The amount of time I'm working on growing my online business is not sustainable, but necessary for now. I also know that when I have some free time, I'm better able to come up with innovative solutions and growth ideas. I imagine this conundrum is not unique. Curious how others have handled it. For sure, an issue most of us face when we're working nonstop in the business. The do. We all think we learn from doing. We don't learn from doing. We need to stop, think, reflect. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? And then course correct, and then learn from what we did right and wrong, right? So I'm all for it. I call these clarity breaks. And I don't know if you heard my answer before, I use calendar blocking for this. I know Mondays and Fridays are no meeting days for me. Friday mornings, I have a 2-hour segment where it's only thinking time. Nobody can talk to me. Nobody can interrupt me. I can go wherever I want with a pad of paper. I can think about what are the most important things I need to get done in the business, what are the things that would move the company forward, what are the most important moves I need to make with my people, and different things like that. So having a time block where it's sacred and nobody can touch that, where not even the urgent is going to touch that, is helpful, right? There's a book called Miracle Morning. If you're an early riser, that's a great book and a great way to get this systemized. 5-minute journals. There's different ways that get you to that scope in a quick time, fast time. You could do it daily, 15 minutes daily. You could do it like I do, 2 hours per week. You could do it a full day per quarter. Just find that time where you need to think. As leaders, we need to do more thinking than doing. Right now, in your phases of entrepreneurship, you're doing most of the hats, but one of your hats you need to remember is a leader, so you need to do a lot of thinking. Because sometimes we're overdoing things and we could be eliminating, automating, or delegating certain tasks that we shouldn't be doing. All right, so the more time you spend, don't overthink things. Just think, understand what are the most important things you need to get done. Now, this is not during exercise. This is not during meditation. That's different. This is thinking, productive thinking time on what are the things that will move the needle the most in your business. And I highly promote that, and that's something I promote to every leader I work with, is you need to have this cadence of thought and thinking. I hope that helps, Kristen. All right, let's go to Trent Pijas. How can I efficiently advertise while on a budget? I work in a commercial real estate and specialize in medical, dental, offices, and clinics. My company consists of myself and my father, who has worked in the industry for more than 25 years. I've come to find that this business primarily revolves around referrals, yes sir, and while this works for him, it does not work for someone like myself who is new in the industry. We don't have a large corporate sized budget, so expensive SEO options and similar pricey tools are hard to justify. I know advertising is a huge importance and want to utilize it however we can, but I like to do so while staying under a budget of about $15,000 a year or less. Wow, $15,000 a year or less. All right, so efficiently advertise. You're in a trust industry too. You're in the medical and dental offices and clinics. So it's real estate. The more niche you go, the cheaper the advertising goes. So if you're able to find a way to segment your real estate target, so it's not only dental offices, it's dental offices for women who have kids and want to be in this area. It makes it a lot cheaper to advertise than dental offices in general, right? So when you go further down a niche, it's great. So if your father already has 25 years of experience, I would do a segmentation, understand who are our best customers, who are the ones that always come to us, who are the ones who repeat, who are the ones who refer, and try to find attributes that they have in common, right? Maybe all of them go golfing in this club. So your best advertising is just to get a membership to that golf club. Or maybe all of them live around this area or neighborhood. Then all of your advertising dollars go into that neighborhood and that specialty. Or maybe they're all from this college. So now I sponsor events and I go to events and meet people before they graduate from college in order for them to set up their office, right? So I would do a deep dive into your customers that you've had for a long time and really understand what do they have in common. Where should I go and talk to them? And also, what do they have in common? Are they all, men between 30 and 55, and they all live in the zip code, or they all come from this, or they used to work at a dental office and now they wanted to start their own practice. So do I go and talk to do I promote lunches? Do I go different things? So there's a lot of, I like, what's it called is it's terrorist marketing. It's not terrorist marketing. It's, I forgot the word, but it's just different ways of thinking about marketing, not just in the traditional advertising way, right? So you want to make sure that guerrilla marketing. So the guerrilla marketing is you can have tactics that are cheap, but they're effective, right? So I know a lot of financial planners thinking about dental offices, and a lot of financial planners start working with students before they're making their $100,000 and $200,000, because talking to the $200,000 a year dentist is a lot harder than talking to the student who needs help in their financial way before they start their profession. So think about different ways that you could show up in advertising that's not just traditional SEO or public advertising or bench stools or whatever it is. Try to think about how to minimize the amount of money but maximize the effect by understanding your core target. I hope that helps. All right, let's go with our last one. We got Ricardo Delgado. What are some practical ways to show team members appreciation? I own and operate a barbershop with 3 other barbers. I want to continually show gratitude and appreciation. How can I practice this habit without breaking the bank? You'd be surprised, man. Most of the times you don't even have to break the bank. The best type of recognition is verbal recognition in front of the peers. When we recognize each other in front of our peers, it's the biggest thing that we can have. Now, there's different incentives that you could do depending on what your goals are in different ways. You can tie goals with performance and bonuses, right? I love tying performance goals and bonuses to people so that they can feel compensated. But the reality is not everybody is out for the money, right? There's people that love, I had a team member that she always wanted her bonus to be donated to her favorite cause. That's what she wanted, right? And there's people that prefer the experience. So they wanted a trip, or they wanted a dinner at a restaurant. There's people that love the cash. There's people that love the recognition. There's people that there's the 5 love languages that we always talk about. So there is a love language for business. Maybe that's a book that your team members could take the test, and then you understand how they like to feel loved within the business setting, right? And then, is it words of affirmation? Is it money? Is it, impact? Is it experience? So there's different ways that we can show appreciation. And in my experience, it's mostly verbal. It's mostly in front of their peers, and constant reaffirmation of how much they matter, how much they're doing things well, and how grateful I am to be with them. So gratitude, affirmations, and reaffirmations. Verbal always works a lot better than with money. Most people get a gift card, they forget they got the gift card, they get a coffee. It's detached from the emotion. If you talk about the story of how they impacted, why you're grateful to them, and different things like that, it's so much more powerful. It creates a connection. It creates a lot of team building. But not only that, it also builds the way of others seeing, I want to get recognized publicly, I want to behave that way, right? So it models behavior, it models recognition, and not only you, but each other recognizing each other. So I hope that helps, and that's it. All right, so those are the questions. My name's Cesar Quintero, down in South Florida, Profit Recipe. Hope this was helpful.